Community Affairs Bureau, Officer Clem speaking. I'm Albie.
Hi, yes, I called to inquire about a policy the NYPD has about not allowing individuals to record in the public lobbies of NYPD stations. Um, is there any law backing that up, or is that just policy?
It's an NYPD policy.
So there's no law backing it up, nothing that. So if an individual were to go inside a police station and record, what would they be charged with?
Well, it's criminal trespass.
Criminal trespass?
If you're asked to leave an area and you're not authorized to be in that area, that's trespassing.
Okay, so
as well as obstruction of governmental administration.
okay.
OGA.
All right, so if I record in a public lobby, which is a constitutionally protected activity, which the NYPD swore to protect, wouldn't that be in direct violation of your constitutional oath? Something that you swore to protect? Because if it's a public lobby, I'm allowed to, individuals are allowed to record in public. Now, that there seems to be a conflict there.
Hold on, sir. Let me pull up our rules on this. 1 second, okay? I'll put you on a brief hold, okay, sir?
Yeah, that's fine.
If you're calling from an alarm company and need police, fire, or ambulance response, press 1 for 911. To report a non-emergency, press 2 for 311. For the Employment Verification Unit, press 3. For the License Division, press 4. For the Police Reports Oil Unit, press 5. For the Payroll Section, press 6. For the Personnel Bureau, press 7. For the Property Clerk Division, please press 8. If you are a member of the NYPD and are attempting to contact a unit not previously mentioned, please utilize the department intranet, official roster, or a department cell phone to locate the phone number. To speak to an operator, press 9. Wait while I transfer your call.
Centrex operator 1088, good morning.
Hi, good morning. I was looking for community affairs.
Okay, 1 moment, sir. Let me get you over to community affairs. Do you want the phone number or you just
Yeah, I'd like the phone number too, and you can transfer me.
Okay, sir. 1 moment. Okay, the phone number is 646-610-5323.
Can you repeat the last four?
5323.
All right, thank you.
Hold on for transfer. Community Affairs Bureau, Officer Clem speaking. I'm Albie.
Hi, yes, I called to inquire about a policy the NYPD has about not allowing individuals to record in the public lobbies of NYPD stations. Is there any law backing that up, or is that just policy?
It's an NYPD policy.
So there's no law backing it up, nothing that. So if an individual were to go inside a police station and record, what would they be charged with?
Well, it's criminal trespass.
Criminal trespass?
If you're asked to leave an area and you're not authorized to be in that area, that's trespassing.
Okay, so
as well as obstruction of governmental administration.
Okay.
OGA.
All right. So if I record in a public lobby, which is a constitutionally protected activity, which the NYPD swore to protect, wouldn't that be in direct violation of your constitutional oath? Something that you swore to protect? Because if it's a public lobby, I'm allowed to, individuals are allowed to. I called the first time. I didn't turn off my caller ID. Now the guy's looking at my caller ID. He's not going to pick up the phone. He knows I'm calling. He doesn't want to talk to me anymore.
Thank you for
See?
calling the New York City Police Department. The party.
This time I blocked my number.
Community Affairs Bureau, Officer Clinton speaking. How may I help you?
I'm sorry, who's this?
Officer Kalenda.
Oh, hi. I just spoke to you. And you just hung up on me for no reason. I wasn't even done talking to you. You just hung up on me.
Sir, you said have a nice day. I thought that was the end of the conversation.
Not that I'm familiar with. Okay, but I still had more questions on your policy on criminally trespassing people from public property.
I'm going to transfer you to the legal bureau. They'll be able to answer the questions more efficiently than I will be.
But wait a minute. You had no problem answering the questions before on your policy. And it's based on your policy that you enforce.
But you want to go into detail with this policy. This is not my expertise. I'll transfer you to the legal bureau. I'm sure they'd be happy to speak to you about this.
Yeah, sure. Can I have the number before you transfer me?
Legal Bureau, Officer Kelly.
Hi, yes. Who am I speaking with?
Officer Kelly.
Hi, Officer Kelly. My name is Anibal, and I'm a journalist, and I am calling to inquire about the NYPD's policy on trespassing people for recording in their public lobbies.
Is this just a general, are you with the NYPD or are you just a...
I'm not in the NYPD. No, I never said I was in the NYPD. I just want know what because I know they have a policy. If you record in their public lobbies, they will trespass you. I just finished talking to an officer about the policy, and he explained that if you record in their lobbies, that you will be asked to leave, and then if you refuse to leave, then you will be arrested and charged with trespass. And I don't understand if I'm in a public lobby and there's no expectation of privacy in a public lobby, and I record, which is a First Amendment protected activity, how could I be trespassed for a public lobby for engaging in a constitutionally protected activity?
Yeah, so I asked you if you were NYPD because this number is for public, internal.
Oh, well, your officer transferred me here. He said, yeah, I need to transfer you to legal. You're asking questions that are or I'm sorry?
Give me 1 second. Let me get the number for public relations.
That's who I called first. I called public relations, and they transferred me to you.
Give me a second. Hold on. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to transfer you over to Community Affairs. They should be able to talk to you.
Can I have a number? Can I have a number?
Yeah, the last four is going to be 5323.
That's the number I called, 646-610-5323, and they transferred me right to you. So they didn't have the answers, and they said, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I was speaking. It's kind of polite to let somebody finish what they're saying before you start talking to them. All right, thank you. So I was speaking to them, and I asked them the same questions I asked you. The guy got all fumbled up, didn't know what to say, and I said, let me transfer you to legal. And that's how I got to you.
You're done now?
Yeah, Hmm.
Okay. So this is an internal number. We don't give legal advice to the community, civilians. So you could contact a lawyer.
No, I wasn't seeking legal advice, sir. Sir, I wasn't seeking legal advice. I was seeking the justification for your policies.
This is an internal. We don't speak to members of the public.
Okay, well, I guess I'll call them back and ask them why they transferred me to you.
There you go.
Okay, what was your name again?
Officer Keller.
Officer Keller. Can you spell that for me?
Keller.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Mr. Keller. You have a good day and be safe out there, okay?
You as well.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, calling the same number again. Let's see if he picks up or not. You know that I blocked my number. He's probably not going to pick it up.
Community Affairs Bureau, Officer Kalenda speaking.
I'm sorry, Officer who?
Kalenda.
Kalenda, hi. I just called a little while ago, inquiring about your policies of trespassing individuals for recording in your public lobbies. And the individual I spoke to transferred me to legal, but he transferred me to legal for NYPD. And then they said I would have to speak to community affairs, and they gave me this number, 646-610-5323, and said they should be able to answer your questions. Now, I told them that the individual I spoke to who transferred me there could not answer my questions, and he said I have to speak to legal. And, the legal said, no, we can't talk to you. So you have to speak to community affairs. So I'm back here talking to community affairs. Now, from my understanding, you guys have a policy of trespassing people for recording in NYPD public lobbies.
Yeah.
You understand that's a public lobby and there's no expectation of privacy in a public lobby, right?
Not at a police facility, sir.
No? Do you have anything to back that up? Any kind of penal code or something that was passed by the legislation that made public lobbies into restricted areas that can be trespassed?
In regards to criminal trespass, you want the penal code for criminal trespass?
No, I didn't ask that. Are you listening to me? What I'm saying? All right, let me repeat. Let me repeat what I said. Okay.
I understood what you said. You're talking about
policy? Okay, no.
In regards to recording in a department facility.
Yeah, and what?
It's a department policy.
Yes, I understand that.
Record in a department facility.
Okay,
Once you
so
start recording in the department facility, you will be asked to leave. If you refuse to leave, you will be arrested for criminal trespass.
okay, that's understood. That's definitely understood. Now, what do you have that supports that? Did the legislature pass anything that says that you can make a public lobby into a private area, or the NYPD just decided to do this on their own?
If somebody asks you to leave the area and you refuse to leave, it's criminal trespass.
Okay, let me change this up for you. Okay, a public lobby is the same thing as being in a public park. Okay, if I'm asked to leave a public park for recording,
not in a police department.
I'm sorry,
facility.
sir. Let me just finish my example. Okay, because a public lobby and a public park, two same thing. They're both public areas which have no expectation of privacy. You just confirmed to me that it was a public lobby. You said it yourself. I made sure I worded it as public lobby. Okay? If it's a public lobby, there's no expectation of privacy. Okay?
There is an expectation of privacy in a police department facility when you have crime victims and other people.
Yes, but that would be in the restricted areas where you take members out of the, individuals filing complaints out of the public. Because a public lobby, there's no expectation of privacy. This has already been ruled in the Supreme Court. You understand that? Does the NYPD understand that? You don't.
I am not a spokesperson for the NYPD. I am just dictating to you the NYPD policy.
Yeah, that's understood. But the policy seems to go against what you guys swore to uphold, the First Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
So does that not bother you?
No.
It doesn't bother you that you guys are actively violating people's rights?
No, not when we have crime victims and other people walking into the building that don't want to be recorded, that have just been either assaulted, raped, or any other crime that you want to think of,
so
that want to report that crime, they shouldn't feel to be able to be recorded in that lobby.
But it's
are taken in the lobby.
Why would you take criminal complaints in a lobby in a public area when there's no such expectation of privacy?
Well, that's why we have the rule that you're not allowed to record in a
But
department.
there's no law backing it up, no penal code, nothing. It's just your policy.
Yeah, it's our policy that you're not allowed to record. So we're going to ask you to leave. If you refuse to leave, you're arrested for criminal trespass.
Okay.
You're not arrested for recording. You're arrested for trespassing.
Oh, you're definitely getting arrested for recording, and that's definitely the excuse. Because if I were just in there just walking normally, there would be no problem. But if I'm recording, then I'm being arrested for recording, and you guys are just disguising it as trespass.
That's your interpretation.
Oh no, we're definitely going to find this out in court. I'm already in the process of filing with the comptrollers, and then when I don't settle with them, I'll be taking this to court and handling this in a civil court, because seems like you guys believe no, because there is a thing called checks and balances in the government, and the executive cannot make policy that applies to citizens. That's up to the legislature, and you guys are doing something that's not your job. But I'll take care of this, and you guys won't ever have to worry about people trespassing people for recording your lobbies or anything. Same thing like the marijuana, you don't have to worry about it anymore. Part of that was part of me from winning a lot of cases that NYPD had no business charging me with possession of marijuana, because that's a policy, and a public policy at that. So, but anyways.
Well, just so you know, sir, it's still illegal to smoke in a New York City public park, New York City transit system, inside a building.
Yeah. See, that's the problem. It's illegal. It's not criminal. It's illegal. Okay?
Yes.
Right? I have no legally binding contracts with NYPD anywhere. So it's not illegal for me to do. Okay?
Do you currently, not currently, but if you're in the confines of the city of New York, you have to follow the rules and regulations of the city of New York. Same with as if you're in a transit system or you're in a park, you have to follow those rules and regulations.
Yeah. See, the problem is
you could be ejected from that park.
Yeah, I totally understand that, sir. Okay? But again, I've won multiple cases on policy, legality, what you guys refer to, legal, those that has to do with policy. When it has to do with crime, that's a different story. I always get these cases thrown out when they have to do with legally and illegal, because NYPD can never ever prove that those policies apply to me factually, and then the case gets thrown out of court. It's that simple. Okay, you have to prove that I'm legally bound by your policies. You can't say, oh, we have a policy and it applies to you. But I understand you're not a lawyer, so you wouldn't know that. I've been doing this for over 30 years. So I understand the ins and outs of courts, and legally and criminally. Okay, so that's the issue. You guys are turning a civil issue into a criminal issue, which NYPD has been doing for the longest, and that's why I'm trying to put an end to this by suing for doing a Monell case showing that NYPD will enforce policy over protecting rights. And you just proved my points right now, that you're willing to enforce policy over my rights. You know.
Did you have any further questions?
No, since you don't have anything to back up what you're saying. You know, don't have no legislation. It's just policy. That's all it is. And then you try to make your policy into legislation, which you have no business doing. The NYPD has no business. The executive branch has no business doing whatsoever. Whatever policies you make are between you guys. You have no business enforcing your policy onto citizens or private individuals. But
Okay. All right. You have a good day, sir.
all right, you'll find out in court when that policy gets thrown out.
No problem. All right. You have a great day.
All right, you too, sir. Be safe.
Okay. Thank you.